Welcome to Shorthand Dictation Practice. Today's dictation, Shorthand Transcriptions, by Sir Kailash Chandra. Transcription number 71 at 80 words per minute. Get your pen and notebook ready. We will start the transcription in 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Start. Transcription number 71. I may draw the attention of the House to a special feature of the budget. And it is this. With all the heavy expenditure on defense to the tune of 30%, the developmental activity has not been slowed down. Today, we are spending about 19% on the different development activities. But, in this respect, I would like to submit that the allocation for education in the budget continues to be at 2 to 3%. I think education is a very important subject as it affects the minds of our younger generation, and it gives us the necessary technical personnel who are, so to say, the hands and feet of our development. What we find here is that instead of making an increase in this particular direction on education, we are keeping it at the same level. I would submit that the Finance Minister should give his due consideration to increasing the budget on education. Now, I turn to the performance and the working of the ministries. I would like to say something first about the work that the Planning Commission is doing. Of course, the Planning Commission is doing excellent work. It is at present preparing the 4th 5-year plan. Not only that, it is preparing a perspective plan for a number of years. It is also giving a vision. It is also suggesting certain priorities insofar as the progress of our country is concerned. The Planning Commission is also carrying out different kinds of studies and researches. But at the same time, what I feel is that the Commission must apply itself also to the weaker sections of society, namely the landless laborers, the artisans and those who are living in the rural areas. It must also apply itself as to how the weaker areas or the underdeveloped areas in our country can be helped. I know that the Planning Commission has prepared certain indicators and has asked the state governments to show which are the regions which are underdeveloped according to the indicators. But that much attention will not do. We have to give more attention. Because if such areas continue, so in the different states, in our country, it will hamper the general progress of the country. From the questions that are asked in this house, the minister will know the anxiety amongst the members. Transcription number 71, continued, partially. Reconstructed, source page degraded. The following is reconstructed from a partially legible scan. Some phrasing is approximate. I would submit for the consideration of the House that a special cell should be established in the Planning Commission to study and prepare schemes for these underdeveloped areas. So far only 7 states have provided indicators about these regions. The Commission should not merely prepare indicators, but should also, at the same time, watch the implementation of the schemes that are meant for these regions. The Planning Commission must direct that a decision be made and priority given for the development of such regions. Unless the building up of economic infrastructure in a particular region is taken up, you will find from the figures that industries are not coming up, and agriculture is also falling short there. So, proper consideration should be given to setting up such a cell in the Planning Commission for underdeveloped areas. Now I turn to the Ministry of Education. What I find is that education has been going after too many changes, too many experimentations. I think the government should stop this policy of too many changes in the field of education. Even after freedom, we have not been able to achieve a common pattern of education throughout the country. A plea was made by a lady member about the fact that different patterns exist in different states, and one does not know what national objectives have been laid down in the different reports with regard to primary and secondary education. Nobody has tried to see that the educational objectives laid down in these reports are followed uniformly in the different states. As a result, education is not being given the priority it ought to have. And there are many exceptions to it. So, it is my request to the Education Ministry that this policy of too many changes and too many experiments should stop, and that a common pattern of education at the primary and secondary level should be adopted throughout the country. This completes today's dictation. Practice well and see you in the next session.